Kia ora everyone, I am here in Oamaru, just sitting here at the Lagonda tea rooms in Oamaru, just having a half an hour lunch break before we push on. It's been about 4.5 hours on the bus so far, and still another 7 odd to go until I get down to Te Anau, so still a wee way left. Alrighty, so here I am. I've arrived in Te Anau, just hiking or walking along by the side of the lake here on my way to hopefully get something to eat because it's been a very long day and I need my sleep now. Real through hiker dinner of champions and dessert. Basically I'm here at the Te Anau lakefront backpackers and I'm supposed to be getting onto a shuttle in about an hour's time to take me to the Milford track, and had to make the very difficult decision this morning to cancel it. I've had a thyroid problem, Graves' disease, for many years. It's been under control for quite a long time. I hiked the whole North Island last year with it and it was fine, didn't even have to worry about it, and just in the last 2 weeks it started to flare up again and I had a really bad night last night. I just can't imagine being out on the trail for 4 days like that when the weather is crap too. But you know, I don't want to go out there and hike this trail when I'm feeling like this, both physically and mentally. I just don't want to do it. I've been looking forward to it for such a long time, and when I do it, it has to be right, and nothing for the last couple of weeks has felt right. I just don't understand, you know, I just don't understand how the universe seemed to come together to allow me to make a booking on both of these tracks at this time of year when they are usually both booked out, if I was supposed to just come here and then bail. It's taken a long time to get here. I'm supposed to be out on the Milford track right now at this particular moment, and I'm not. And the reason why I'm not is because I let fear and I let anxiety get the better of me. And while I was travelling back from Te Anau, where I made the decision not to get out onto the Milford track, I was absolutely devastated and I felt completely disappointed in myself. And yet underneath all of that, I had this incredible desire to get back out onto the trail again. This is my last week on the South Island. In a couple of weeks' time I have to be back in Taupo, I have to be back at work. So I knew that if I was going to do anything it had to be done soon. And I also knew that if I was going to do anything it had to be something that I felt comfortable with, that I felt safe with, that I felt would be a good option for me at this time. And so I chose the St James Walkway. The St James Walkway takes normal groups of trampers around about 4 days to complete, and it starts in the beautiful Lewis Pass region of New Zealand. But the reason why this trail is so special for me, and the reason why I've decided to hike it at this particular point in time, is because the last day, or the last 2 days if you're doing the 4-day circuit, are actually on Te Araroa. Alright, this is the Cannibal Gorge swing bridge. Nice little swing bridge, not too bouncy and not too high. So I've been hiking for just a little over 2 hours now, and it shouldn't be too long until I get to Cannibal Gorge Hut, which is the first hut along this route if you're hiking from the Lewis Pass end. But I'll actually be staying at Ada Pass Hut today. Should be another hour-ish from Cannibal Gorge Hut, and I think that once I get there to Ada Pass Hut, there will be another group of hikers there, so that'll be quite nice, because even though I'm out here to try and again force myself to get comfortable with being alone, sometimes it's just nice to have that little backstop there just in case. Been here for about 10 or 15 minutes I think, and just getting myself ready to push off. Had a little bit of anxiety. I'm finding it very difficult today. I haven't got a lot of energy, and yeah, my heart is struggling a little bit, but that's all just because of fitness and because of not being out doing anything for a long time and now carrying a heavy pack on my back, so I'm sure that it's all going to be totally fine. I've walked 3 hours so far, and it's about another hour and 20 minutes to Ada Pass Hut. I probably can do that in about an hour and 10, and there are at least 3 other people staying at that hut tonight, so I am going to make my way there because yeah, I think I just need the moral support of being around some other people tonight. Alrighty, it's been an hour and 15 minutes since I left Cannibal Gorge Hut, and I am just approaching Ada Hut now.
The movies are already so stratified, and when the moss goes down like that on the earth, it's beautiful. Abel, Tasman, the sounds that else the area.
Very freeze-dried. It's crunchy.
Oh no.
Oh, it's good though. Crunchy ambrosia. Crunchy ambrosia. I mean, that's the thing with freeze-dried strawberries, is that you can't let them soak.
Anyway. Around because traveling in the van in New Zealand.
Oh, maybe there's a marshmallow.
I think like around like all the tracks are different.
It's quite compact.
Alright, so I am here at Ada Pass Hut in my tent. It feels so good to be back in my tent, so I think I'm really going to enjoy tonight's sleep. I am in a little bit of a dilemma about my plan for the rest of this trek though. Today was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It was harder physically, it was harder mentally. I'm sure that will get better though, the more that I hike and the further that I go, but tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing something like a 9-hour day all the way through to Ann Hut. So I think I'm just going to try and get an early-ish start tomorrow. Try and get on the trail by about 7, and terrain should be relatively good though, relatively flat, so I'm hoping it's going to be fine, but look, if I can't do it then I'll just have to extend a day and stay at Christopher Hut, but it is just causing me a little bit of anxiety at the moment. Anyway, I'm all set up here in my tent, and I've even rigged up this little contraption here with my tripod to watch my Netflix in style tonight. So I'm going to have a really excellent sleep, and I will see you on the trail tomorrow. I am supposed to be heading to Ann Hut, but instead I am hiking back towards the Lewis Pass car park. I think the thing that this entire adventure since I first came down to the South Island has taught me this year is that sometimes things just aren't meant to be, and for whatever reason there are starting to be all kinds of barriers popping up to me being able to do what I really want to do, and that is to just come out and hike these trails. And I was looking forward to getting through to Ann Hut tomorrow, being back on the TA route, and just being able to put a nice little line under that experience for this year. But then overnight I started to get a flare-up of my Graves' disease, or what I assume is a flare-up of my Graves' disease. My heart was racing. And I just kept mulling over how yesterday was for me. The fact that I had so little energy and my heart was racing so fast going up the smallest little inclines. And I just thought to myself, what happens if I get like that tomorrow night as well? Everything has just sort of ended up in this really weird place, and even though I'm disappointed that I can't carry on with this track and that I don't get to go and extend another foot back onto the TA again like I'd originally planned, I don't feel bad about it because I came out here, I had a night out in the wilderness in my tent, I got to listen to the sound of the stream and the birds and see the mountains, at least a little glimpse of some of the mountains that people keep telling me about down here. And hopefully I get to use that as motivation to get myself better, get myself into a much better place mentally and physically, so I can come and explore some of this another time.